Hello and welcome to Vampire the Masquerade Swansong. If you would like to check out the game, there is a link in the description. This is a narrative RPG where you take control of 3 different vampires. They have different abilities and skills, and they approach situations in different ways. And as you could tell from the narrative in the sort of genre, subject, title, whatever, then you're going to be able to partake in a whole bunch of different dialogue and conversations and intrigue, and I'm very excited to see where it goes. So, let's start a new game. The Boston court is in turmoil. A code red alert has been issued, which means a major crisis has occurred. Leysha, and Galeb are summoned by the prince. Vampires walk among us. Unknowing, we've built their cities, fought their wars, and sated their hunger. For centuries, these creatures have been organized into rival sects, the largest of which is the Camarilla. In its domains, Camarilla courts enforce the Masquerade, a global conspiracy hiding the existence of vampires from the mortal world. Breaking the Masquerade is punishable by final death. In Boston, vampire factions have long been at each other's throats. After much conflict, Hazel Iverson, the new prince, has sealed a fragile pact with a group of blood sorcerers known as the Hartford Chantry. This alliance will not only provide stability to the domain, but will hand the prince the blood trade, the trafficking of blood and mortal victims that serves the needs of the vampire elite. Tonight, the undead will celebrate.
Just get this going. There, ready. We're all set. Now, to begin, tell me, what do you see?
I don't know.
Okay. Try this. Focus on your vision.
Did you feel it too?
Take your stuff. We're getting out of here. We've got a problem.
Call them back.
What's going on?
It's the prince. We must go quickly.
Come on. Damn it. Hurry up.
Calm down. Maybe it has nothing to do with the party.
You know full well I was in charge of it. If anything goes wrong, it's my head on the chopping block. Fuck! Damn it! It took Hazel months to convince the Hartford Chantry to ally themselves with us. So they finally accept, and then bam, a code red. There's never been a code red in Boston, damn it! This has gotta be bad, MM.
In a dialogue, some answers require the use of your skills. Your skill level is compared with that of your opponent. The higher rating wins. You cannot use a skill if its rating is 0. Using a skill consumes willpower. If your opponent wins, you gain a few willpower at the end of the dialogue. So you can see here we have 2 dialogue options, psychology and persuasion. And we have, well, basically 0% chance of success against Journey, who has 2 in persuasion. We have 0 in persuasion, so obviously it makes no sense for us to select that, but we do have 2 against her 1 in psychology, so we're going to select that.
It's not like you had anything to do with it. I'm sure.
You don't get it. I was in charge of organizing the party.
But security is Jara's problem.
Yeah,
normally.
except Jara is a member of the Primogen. I'm not.
But you're a harpy. The prince will cover you. You know she's always looking for an excuse to take him down a notch.
We'll see.
What do we do next?
When everyone's safe, we move on to phase 2. We clean house.
And now we can ask a bunch of questions. I suppose we'll say, what's a code red?
Did you say this is the first code red in Boston?
Ever since the fall of London, protocol is no longer a laughing matter.
Whatever. They've been harping on that for 4 years now. They took away our internet access. Our smartphones.
It's called risk mitigation, that's all. A code red is an alarm signal that's sent to everyone to say, watch out, we're all in danger. And everyone runs to shelter at the nearest safe house. For us, it's with the prince. It could have been worse.
I'd have preferred worse.
You're not even listening to me.
What do you mean by we clean house?
Getting rid of our archives, our documents, anything that might betray our network and relationships.
What comes after phase 2?
Just pray that it never comes to that.
Come on, tell me.
We run. We leave everything behind and we go into hiding, as far from here as we can.
There's no way I'm leaving Boston. Everything I have is right here in the city. It took me years to build my clubs. I've worked too hard to give it up now.
You won't have a choice. I know you hate coming here. Are you gonna be all right?
What do you think? I know how to behave, Jay.
Yeah, I know. Just keep your cool and it'll be fine.
Ah, my little darlings. You're here at last. The fear that something horrible had happened to you terrified me.
No call for theatrics, April.
The prince asked to see you as soon as you arrived, Amim. I wouldn't dilly-dally if I were you. As for you, Journey, someone's triggered a code red. If anything has happened over there, I'll hold you personally responsible.
And this is about disciplines. Vampires have supernatural abilities usually inherited from their clan, known as disciplines. Some disciplines can be used in dialogues. As with skills, the higher level wins. Not all disciplines are available to all vampires. Some mortals may possess certain powers, although most have no defense against disciplines. Using discipline generates hunger, and hunger has a value that cannot be exceeded. This limits a vampire's use of their powers. A vampire at their hunger limit risks losing control, attacking, and feeding on the closest mortals. So you have to be very, very careful about this, because obviously, because this is a Vampire the Masquerade game, the Masquerade is the most important thing to take note of. Alright, so we have, well, basically no chance of success anywhere here but I suppose we might go for flattery. I mean, we have 0% chance. I guess we'll just go for that.
You know, back in the day, nobody could bat an eyelash without you knowing about it. You must know exactly what Jay is being blamed for, don't you?
MM. My dear MM. I adore you. Really, I do. But darling, please. You're way out of your league here. This alliance with the Hartford Chantry is crucial. The prince is on edge. We can't get through to anyone over there.
What does this have to do with Jay?
She was in charge of the whole thing, for goodness sake. Listen, both of you. From now on, I don't want to hear another word out of either of you. The prince is furious. Journey, you're coming with me.
I don't see why.
And as for you, Hazel wants to see you. Right now.
Alright, so we did gain some hunger back from the failure there by the looks of things, which is actually kind of useful because obviously, as they said, if we have very little hunger and we, well, need to feed in a public setting, or shall we say when there's a mortal present, then that's going to be pretty bad if there are others around to see it, of course. So, let's make our way through here and see Hazel.
Who's she, Galeb?
MM Lewis.
She smiles like a toreador.
Letters etched in bold right upon her teeth.
What about that bearded guy who's swallowing his bile?
Dajan Siaka.
A Tremere warlock, then?
Keep him at a healthy distance. With a sideward glance, he could make the blood in your veins boil.
Is court attendance usually this sparse?
Under ordinary circumstances, there would be more of us here.
Is it because of the Code Red?
Could be. We should have all been at that party. But a Code Red is a Code Red. No one can leave. I'd hate to be Caius right about now.
Why?
He's second honcho of house security. This promises to be a busy night.
I know what you mean. It's one thing to have been told that the Nosferatu don't age well. It's another thing to see it for yourself.
It's by no fault of their own.
Do you think you'll be able to ask the prince tonight if you can embrace me?
No. Now is no longer the time.
And he is your child?
Mr. Beryl Underwood. Tread lightly. He's a member of the Primogen.
They're the check to the prince's power.
The check and balance. They backed Hazel when she rose to power after Quentin King. They'd hoped to control her.
What? Things didn't go as planned?
I just have a feeling she will surprise them. Never forget that the court is a chessboard. We are monsters, and we sacrifice pawns. If you want to be a major piece, then behave accordingly.
But...
Nothing can happen to you here. We're in the prince's house. She must be finished by now. Wait for me. This won't take long.
It's out of the question, MM! I won't let her get away with this!
All right. Calm down, Dajan.
Where's Journey?
What's it to you?
Don't start with me. She was in charge of the party. She has to take responsibility for this.
Leave her out of it.
It's too late for that. Don't waste your time covering for her. She's not a kid anymore. I haven't heard from my child, and no one's able to get through to them over there.
Go on then. Go and save Imani and stop wasting your breath.
There are rules. Need I remind you? We're all stuck here.
You're such a good boy.
You'll never change.
Dajan!
What? Oh, come on, Hilda, she needs to grow up.
Leave us.
I don't need your help.
Mem, please.
Stop calling me that.
I was worried about you.
You still haven't moved on, have you? You're always getting in my way.
Lower your voice. People are staring.
And here is our third resource, I guess you could say. Focus allows you to temporarily increase a skill by 1 or 2 levels. The more you increase your focus, the more the willpower cost increases. To be focused, the skill must have a minimum score of 1 point, and disciplines or knowledge cannot be focused. Right, okay, so we can focus. How do we actually do that? Ah, there we go. Okay, so we can now do this. That gives us a 30% chance of success. If the skill or discipline levels are the same, the outcome of the conflict is uncertain. The chance of victory can be influenced by a number of bonuses or penalties, as well as spending experience points. Right. Ah, here we go. Look. So, aha. Interesting. Okay, so basically, with the mouse, you can scroll up or down with the mouse wheel to determine the percentage that you want to use on this particular conversation option. So I'm actually going to go for this, and we're going to focus super hard on the rhetoric, and we're going to say, does she know anything about the code red? It seems like we also ended up failing anyway, because our opponent in this conversation actually used focus as well, as you could see here. Your opponents can also focus their own skills. Unlike you, focus only allows them to increase their skill level by 1. The risk of opponent focus is represented by a percentage. The more aggressive you are, in other words, skill focus, user disciplines, the more risk of the opponent focus increases.
Do you know what this code red is all about? You're in the Primogen. You must know something.
I'm in the same boat as the rest of you. Apparently, it was from one of Moore's retainers. That's all I know.
Who's that?
Jason Moore. Don't you remember him? He's the human who manages our interests when the sun comes up. He handles our assets, errands with the banks.
What does he have to do with this?
I don't know. It now seems that Miss Hazel Iverson, the mighty Prince of Boston, is no longer on speaking terms with the Primogen, as if now were the ideal time.
She asked to see me. Do you know why?
My best guess is that she'd like to talk to you about Journey, of course. I always warned you that girl was trouble.
Yeah, sure. I've gotta go. Hazel must be upstairs. I'd better hurry.
All right, well, let's use the elevator then, I suppose, and go to the prince's floor.
What a shitty night. Hazel must be pissed. What the hell could she want with me?
everything okay, Mom? Penny for your thoughts?
Nothing, Pumpkin. What were you saying?
You saw pictures again? You're not going back to the Institute, are you?
No, don't fret. I'm gonna stay here with you now.
I don't like it when Richard takes you away.
He's my psychiatrist. He's helping me so I can be with you.
Mom has a little trouble sometimes, remember?
I see things that haven't happened yet. And I forget others.
Yes, I know. And you have to slumber so you can rest all alone sometimes. But 3 years was too long.
It seemed like an eternity without you.
I missed you too, Mom.
I need my sweet little monster.
Mom? What's going on? Why does everybody look so upset?
I think something serious is happening. I'm worried. I still haven't seen Richard. I looked for him so he could explain, but he can't be found.
So what do we do now?
I was told to wait here because Hazel wants to see us.
There are grown-ups coming, and your mother needs to talk to them.
Oh, then I'll go hide, because grown-ups talk to me too much.
If you want, sweetie. But don't wander off. Go on.
Show me what you do to make sure no one spots you.
Okay, here I go.
Leysha. It's been a while.
Hey, MM.
When did you get out?
Just tonight. Hazel wanted to see me.
That means she's extremely worried about the situation.
That, or she's a major drama queen.
You shouldn't make light of the situation, believe me. There aren't many of us who have experienced a Code Red and survived.
Thanks for the heads up, Professor Bazori. First Siaka, now you. Why won't anybody give me a break tonight?
Maybe you asked for it.
Or maybe if you behaved in a manner more appropriate to the circumstances and our setting, then you'd better understand why everyone is so nervous.
Siaka jumped down my throat. Was I supposed to let him take his nerves out on me? No, I'm sorry. That's not how things work, Bazori.
We must all remain calm and accept any help we can get, even from the most unusual sources.
That's surprising to hear, coming from a blue blood. At least your certainties come from a more solid source than a prophecy from a child of Malkov.
You don't know what you're talking about.
All I'm saying is that whatever the problem is, your hallucinations aren't gonna help us solve it.
We're all in danger. When I awoke, I sensed a threat everywhere, all around us. I've never felt anything like it.
Please, explain.
It was as if we were all going to disappear into chaos. But you're probably right. It's just Hazel and her flair for the dramatic.
Only time will tell.
Good evening, ladies, sir. The prince shall see you now.
Alright, so yeah, now we get a little bit of a look at MM here, and you can choose a profile. So you can see here that we have her being the rebellious star, the diva who lights up Boston's nights, but bringing light into a world of darkness can be perilous. MM knows this, but she doesn't care. Alright, so now we can choose what kind of specialization we want with MM herself. So for example, we want to focus on knowledge and skills that allow you to go undercover, extort, or steal information. Or we could go for a jack of all trades that focuses on improving attributes and a large selection of skills that allows for a maximum number of interactions, but with less mastery. Or we can go for veteran that focuses on dialogue skills and the physical attribute. It allows you to use the character's aura in conversations. Or if we want to, and if we are really confident, we can do something with our points however we want. Personally, I think I'm gonna probably go for something like this that allows us to go undercover, extort, or steal information. That sounds pretty fun to me. At the start of a scene, previously earned experience points can be spent to improve the character's abilities. These abilities are divided into two areas: the character sheet and the discipline sheet. Each attribute affects a specific list of skills and disciplines. Attributes increase the chance of victory in case of a tie. Improving them also decreases the willpower cost of focus. The use of knowledge skills do not have a willpower cost, and they cannot be improved by using focus. Alright, so you can see here that we have 0 available experience at the moment, and you can see as well that we are a little bit better at social skills, in other words, rhetoric and persuasion, than we are at using, for example, mental, which is psychology. Physical is about intimidation and things like that. So if we want to go to the discipline menu right here, this obviously has its very own skill tree, and you can see that she is indeed a Toreador, as they were talking about beforehand. Xu Feng and Galeb were talking amongst themselves about how she's a Toreador, of course. So experience points invested in a discipline increase the level and can provide additional powers. Discipline powers can be passive and may be used in dialogue or in exploration. Can be quite useful. And you can see here that we have Auspex, which is a supernatural perception. Once activated, it heightens your 5 senses and allows you to see possible futures and read your enemies. Can be very, very useful for that. Well, we have no available experience at the moment, so there is no real reason for me to do anything here, so we're just going to say yes to this.
Hazel. Delson.
Come in, MM. I wanted to have a word with you.
What can I do for you?
I'm glad you're here. It's been a long time since we last saw each other. Tell me, where were you tonight?
Like everybody else, I suppose. At home, getting ready for the party.
How fortunate you weren't running early.
Why? What's happened?
You know what the Code Red means. There was a breach. This is intolerable. These agreements were supposed to celebrate the power of my court. Instead, I've been made to look a fool in the eyes of my allies. We'll have to increase our diplomatic efforts with the Warlocks. Send new emissaries to Osborne.
What's that got to do with me?
Don't you worry about that for now. We have more urgent matters to attend to. We bring Journey to me.
What do you want with her?
I have a few questions I need to ask her. If mistakes were made, I need to know what happened. I'm sure that your friend will have a lot to tell me.
Yes, my prince. I'll be right back.
I didn't bring you here just for that. I have something to offer you.
I'm listening.
It's about the Primogen Council. You know everyone who's in it. Beryl, Richard, Hilda. Their support was much appreciated after the disappearance of the previous prince.
Quentin King.
But now, they've become an obstacle. It's been going on for months. They systematically oppose everything that I do. It must stop now. The Camarilla has faced many challenges in the past few years. Many of our strongholds have fallen. I won't let Boston suffer the same fate, but for that, I need loyal allies. Also, how would you like a spot in the Primogen?
What?
You've always taken care of your community, MM, without ever asking for anything in return. It might be time you took a leading role in the community's affairs.
Hilda won't let you do it. She'll never see me as her equal. being seated next to her child? She'll feel humiliated.
I'm her prince. She will obey me.
She's not gonna like it.
I don't care. What I'm offering is much bigger than all that. What do you think?
I don't know. I need to think about it.
Time is of the essence. You're a businesswoman, MM. I know you'll be up to it, but we'll talk about it again soon. In the meantime...
I know. Jay, I'm going to go see Sylvia first. I need to clear my head.
Do it. You won't be able to hunt tonight. It's better to be prepared. Bring me Journey.
I will.
I have the utmost confidence in you, MM. Do not fail me.
You can count on me. What the hell is going on?
I'm happy to see you in one piece.
Hey, Syl. I'd like some refreshment, please.
Of course, I'll get you a glass.
I was thinking more like a vessel.
Oh, serve yourself. But try not to damage them, okay? They're all I've got left in stock.
I get it, I'll be careful.
I'm right here if you need anything else.
Aha, yes. So it seems like we will be able to feed sometime soon. Anyway, a safe zone is a place where no one can see you feed. You can find them by exploring the surroundings. Only one prey may be sent to a safe zone at a time. Alright, so find a place away from prying eyes, and then we can indeed feed. But I think I'm probably going to be ending this episode off here. If you would like to check out Vampire the Masquerade Swansong, then it is highly recommended to check out the link in the description. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.